question I kept asking myself while making this record is, what kind of music would Miles Davis make if he was alive today? What would Miles Davis do if he was involved in the same musical world that I'm involved with?
Why can't you put an end to this?
Sufjan was the first person I ever worked with in popular music, and Justin I've had this great relationship with for the last 10 years, and I'm involved in so many things in the Bon Iver universe, and so it just really felt like an obvious thing to reach out to those two people. One of the first things I ever recorded was Fake Empire from the Nationals Boxer record. That was really an eye-opener to me that my instrument could be used in an innovative way in today's popular music landscape.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, CJ. How are you?
I am well.
You're sort of upside down.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, that's much better. Hey, I'm going to check my camera as well. Hang on. A few seconds. I was just playing your record.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. I received it from your press officer about 3 weeks ago, and I'm playing it almost every day.
Oh my God, thank you so much. That's exciting.
It's very good. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's my first foray into solo music. So it's, and it's so much different than, I don't know, I think it's pretty unique. So it's exciting that people like it,
I'm shaking, I'm brave enough, I'm afraid it test today.
You're actually in New York, right?
I'm in New York. Yeah, where I have a wife and a 16-month-old daughter. And so we've been back and forth from Montauk, New York to the city, spending most of our time in the country, actually. It's really, really beautiful. And there's a nice artist community out there. We've been enjoying beach walks, and we've been taking it very seriously because of the nature of my work, using my lungs. I want to be, very careful not to get it and have any issues. But it seems like there's light at the end of the tunnel right now.
The light is called a vaccine, and
the light is called a vaccine, indeed. Yeah.
You're often standing in the shadow of the singer, or you're often standing in the shadow of a noisy band. But now you're a soloist while releasing this album. How does that feel?
It's funny. It didn't used to be a unique thing to be a trumpet player. I'm primarily a trumpet player, but I also play French horn. It didn't used to be a unique thing to be standing in front of a band and making culturally relevant popular music. But for the last 30 years or so, no one's really done that. A lot of the music for my instruments has been relegated and genreified and just sort of put into the label of jazz. And what I really sought to do with this project was to show that the trumpet can be out in front of culturally relevant popular music. The question I kept asking myself while making this record is, what kind of music would Miles Davis make if he was alive today? I don't think he would be making jazz music. I think he'd be working with the best beat makers, the best producers, the best songwriters, the best singers. What would Miles Davis do if he had my experience and was involved in the same musical world that I'm involved with? The label 37D03D is about community. And so it was started by Justin Vernon and Aaron Dessner, and it's being run by Kevin Dunman. They started doing these festivals and these live events called People. And it's actually the place where I premiered a lot of this music. I played it live for the first time. In August of 2017, there were 180 musicians that got there and just sort of met and hung out with each other and formed little groups and formed bands and worked on record projects, and all with the aim of putting on this festival at the end of the week. And there was an incredible list of people. It was like Leslie Feist was there, all the members of Bon Iver, the National, all these people who I've had the good fortune of working with for the last 10 years. And then a year ago, they decided to make it a real record label. So that was really, really exciting. And I was one of the first people they approached about releasing this record. It was a no-brainer because so much of the music that I'm making as CARM is about this sense of community. You could see the list of contributors to the record. And so it was perfect to be on this label.
The endless night, the shadow of the valley, the fading light, where innocence is dead.
I love Song of Trouble. That strikes me as like a classic, perfect Sufjan Stevens song. The way he gets at these emotions in such a contemplative way and so intelligently. And I think of that song as just sort of like an inner dialogue you're thinking about. And it's not a sad song, despite being called a Song of Trouble. It's just a contemplative song. I think about it all the time when I'm going for walks.
Focus on the evidence. Struggle, so everything was made for this. Struggle, rise above your consequences. Struggle, why can't you put an end to this?
Sufjan was the first person I ever worked with in popular music, and Justin I've had this great relationship with for the last 10 years, and I'm involved in so many things in the Bon Iver universe, and so it just really felt like an obvious thing to reach out to those two people.
I emphasized on Sufjan Stevens, on Justin Vernon, the vocals, but after a few plays, suddenly it happened with Invisible Walls. What's happening in that song?
That song we made on, I think, our second day of writing music together, me and Ryan Olsen, and was recorded very, very, very late at night. We were all very, very tired, and Justin Vernon and Trevor Hagen were in the room with us in the studio, and we created this bed and this sound world, and Justin was doing this vocal sample over and over again. I didn't know what the writing process was going to be, and it ended up being this very sort of like careful, not careful, but like melodic and like attention to detail and really like hands-on approach between all of us. Yeah. And Trevor put a microphone inside of a trumpet plunger mute. And he was like, what happens if you play really hard into this feedback machine? And so that's what you hear for the whole latter half of the song. And that was just sort of let me just like let loose at the end of the night and just like play really, really hard. And I think you can hear that. We're all just like, all right, this is the last thing we're gonna do. I'm gonna just like freak out on the trumpet. I really love that song because it really is, you hear us in the room together. And I think that a lot of this record was made in different people's studios and all over the world. But that particular song, you really, really hear us in a room together.
You also work with Rufus Wainwright. What did you learn from working with him?
I think that everything made sense for me with Rufus. I was kind of like, who is this guy? Where is this music coming from? His love of opera, his love of folk songs. He's making popular music. And the first time I saw him sing with his mother, Kate McGarrigle, and his sister, Martha, it all clicked and it all made sense. It was like, oh, this guy has music running through his veins. And he grew up singing these kind of songs with his family, and it all made sense. And so it was really amazing to be around him and his family, and the way that music was a central part of every hang, of every conversation. It was always song. It always would just break out into song. Oh, you know, that's all. Oh yeah, let's sing that. Okay, so we would sit down at the piano. And it really felt like, you know, the old days of sitting around a radio and listening to the newest songs. And it was this really like old-timey quality to the way to their relationship to music.
Celebrity can do for those in the dark. Yes, of course.
Whenever I have the opportunity of talking about the National, I take the opportunity.
Yeah.
How often did you discuss with the guys of the National how to create a double setting atmosphere? Because what they do is setting an atmosphere. When you add a French horn or a trumpet to the sound of the National, it sounds even more dramatic.
Yeah, I mean, one of the first things I ever recorded was Fake Empire from the National's Boxer record. And it was such an interesting thing because that's kind of a minimalist music inspired, kind of a Philip Glass inspired trumpet fanfare.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, this is really going to be in a rock song? And it became one of their more successful songs. That was really an eye-opener to me that my instrument could be used in an innovative way in today's popular music landscape. That was kind of the first time where I was like, oh, the trumpet is like being used when Barack Obama walks out on stage. My trumpet part for that song was when he would walk out on stage when he was first running for president. So that was a real eye-opening experience for me, seeing how the instrument could be used.
Quite a philosophical one.
Yeah.
Are you the instrument, or is the instrument you?
I have such a strong relationship to the instrument. I mean, I spent 6 hours a day practicing when I was in middle school and high school, and I was so obsessed. I really think I'm speaking my most emotionally honest version of myself when I'm playing the trumpet. And I'm most able to convey how I feel when I'm playing the trumpet. Yeah. And that's why it was so exciting to make this music.
On the outside of your inner circle, will you let me in? I'm tapping on the ceiling.
I wanted these songs to feel like songs and to have clearly defined verses and choruses and bridge and the sections of a song, yeah, and the length of a song, and these to really feel like songs. But when you write a song, you come up with a verse melody and you come up with the chorus melody, and then you put words on it, and the verse melody pretty much stays the same for all 3 or 4 verses, right? With the trumpet, when I wrote these verse melodies, if I just played the same melody 4 times, it sounds really stupid, but if I played the same melody 4 times, it'd be extremely, extremely boring. So I had to find a way to emotionally take this verse melodic idea and the chorus melodic ideas and have them tell a story, right? Have them take you on an emotional journey and narrate an experience without words, but still feel like the same sections of the same song. And that really called upon me to really, really speak as vulnerably and as emotionally upfront and honest as possible. And it was a really fascinating journey. And a lot of what you hear on the record is my first pass at recording that melodic idea. Because I found that when I did it more and more and more times, I kept going back to that original iteration because it was me at my most emotive. And so, yeah, I think I'm at my best when I'm holding the trumpet.
All right, CJ, thank you very much. Stay healthy and hope to see you soon.
All right, take care, JD.
Bye-bye.